Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Video captures terrifying moments as a shooter opens fire on an off-duty Detroit police officer. The shooting sent people running for cover. Thank you for joining us this noon. That off-duty officer was not seriously hurt when those bullets came flying out.
Yeah, and the bullets even hit a nearby home as a family slept inside. It happened in a neighborhood on Fielding near 7 Mile and Evergreen on Detroit's east side just before 4 o'clock this morning. Our Nick Monticelli has new information for us this noon.
Let me walk you through how this all played out. A group of 6 men walked through the backyard of this home, and then one of them jumped on top of that minivan, and then several of them started firing shots. Hit a car that was sitting here with that off-duty DPD officer, and other shots went into that home back there with children inside. The video is astonishing, capturing every moment before, during, and after this shooting on Fielding, which is on Detroit's west side.
They was just shooting. They wasn't arguing and they wasn't fighting. They came through the yard. He got up on my car and just started shooting.
This woman did not want to show her face, but watched this video over and over again.
They got up on top of my car and started shooting. And I didn't know why, it's just been crazy.
The shooting was just before 4 a.m. The off-duty Detroit police officer was sitting in his car with his girlfriend when the shots began. Several of them hit his car. One bullet went through the windshield, grazing the officer's forearm. Others flew across the street into a home with children. Nobody there was hit. Detroit investigators, for now, think the officer was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
It doesn't appear as though he was the target, but we're still looking to investigate that.
Neighbors, though, aren't buying it, pointing to this video and how this group of men hide behind the minivan and then start firing, only in the direction of the white Ford Fusion.
They was trying to kill him.
You think that they knew he was in there?
I think they knew it. I think they knew it.
On Detroit's west side, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
And we want to get you to breaking news happening right now in southwest Detroit.
Right now, Detroit police are confirming that they have fired on a suspect on Logan Street in Central. This is near the intersection of Verner and Waterman. Jacqueline Francis is there for us as well. I know you just arrived in the past 10 minutes, but are you able to bring us up to speed on what's going on there?
Absolutely. Now, the scene we're looking at behind me is at Chatfield and Green, and there's a large police presence spread out throughout this neighborhood. But again, behind me, Chatfield and Green, you'll see railroad tracks and underpass there. And it's under that underpass that someone in the area, a neighbor tells me that's where they believe the shooting occurred. Again, we're hearing from Detroit police that officers fired at a suspect. That suspect is now in critical condition. We have no other information about what this investigation is or what brought officers out here. But again, we're seeing people coming outside of their home. They're noticing the police presence. We've seen unmarked cars, marked cars surveying the area, not just this immediate scene, but again, for a couple blocks surrounding this area of Chatfield and Green. So there seems to be a lot still going on, even though we do know that suspect who was shot at by Detroit police is in the hospital in critical condition. Again, if there are other players involved, we're not sure at this time. But again, there is still an active scene, and neighbors are certainly coming out wondering what's going on and what would have led police to fire at a suspect. So as we learn more, we'll be sure to bring you up to date. But again, one last time, there is a person who was shot at by Detroit police. They're in critical condition. Live in Detroit, I'm Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Jacqueline. Still lots to learn about that that situation there. And a protest outside of Detroit Police Headquarters has just ended. The protest was because of the deadly police shooting of a man having a mental health crisis.
And the protesters are calling on the department to release the names of the 5 officers who fired shots at Porter Burks. Sean Lay is there for us now live. And Sean, is there any chance police would actually release this kind of information?
Well, this was the National Action Network right here. You just mentioned that protest just wrapping up. And as you say, they are demanding the names of the officers. We're asking police if they're going to answer those questions or not. But at the same time, they're also wanting more answers about the entire incident from Chief White. Members of the National Action Network with strong words for Detroit police at this noon hour over the controversial police shooting of 20-year-old Porter Burks 1 week ago. Burks was suffering from a mental health emergency, police say. They had a member of its crisis intervention team on scene and tried to de-escalate the situation, but police say Burks came toward them with a knife. Officers opening fire multiple times, killing the 20-year-old. Members of this civil rights group today, they want the officers' names who were involved, and they want more answers from Chief White about exactly what happened.
What concerns us more than anything is that it's been a whole week and there's been no communication. Where is the communication?
Back here live, of course, we're asking Detroit police if they're going to have a response to today's protest and that call to release officers' names. There was another call about their job status. Police did tell us all officers involved are currently on paid administrative leave. Much more at 5 o'clock. Back to you.
All right, Sean, we will check back with you later on today. Thanks for that update. Meanwhile, we want to talk about the weather.
Yes, turning now to our forewarned weather as we take a live look outside at Mount Clemens. And it is a beautiful start to the afternoon. And look at, you can see the leaves are just starting to change there.
Definitely see some bright oranges and yellows out there. Beautiful fall afternoon, Brandon.
Day by day, we're getting there, yes, into the foliage. And hard to say exactly how great it's going to be or not, but based on the limited amount of moisture we've had, going to be a struggle to get a long, really nice fall this year. We do have some rain on the way, just not today. 58 Pontiac, 57 for you right now, Mount Clemens. It's 60 over in Ann Arbor, down in Grosse Ile. 61 officially at Metro. Winds are kind of flip-flopping all over the place. In general, west-northwest and on the lighter side. 5 to 10. Not much in the way of clouds even today. So like yesterday, middle, maybe upper 60s with tons of sun on this Monday, the 10th day of the 10th month of October. Again, we do have a little wet weather on the way, badly needed, and we'll track it with you coming up.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. In a Local 4 update, University of Michigan football running back head coach, or I should say running back coach, Mike Hart, also a former player on the team. He is back in Ann Arbor. This is following that scare during this weekend's game in Indiana.
Yeah, no, Hart had a seizure on the sidelines on Saturday, and he was driven off the field on a stretcher in the middle of the first quarter after collapsing during a media timeout. Hart was down for several minutes before he was taken to the hospital at Indiana University. Hart released a statement today thanking everyone at the hospital and the University of Michigan. He wrote, quote, "Health-wise, I am back in Ann Arbor and things are trending in a positive direction. I look forward to rejoining our team soon."
Detroit police are continuing to investigate after 2 people are shot on Detroit's west side overnight. That shooting happened on Fenton and Bennett just after 3 o'clock this morning. We're told that the victims drove off and then crashed on Dale near Grand River, and one person was killed, the other hurt in that shooting. No word on a motive or a possible suspect at this time.
This week, you will once again pay more to fill up your gas tank. Prices jumped in Michigan. AAA says prices are up 19 cents compared to this time last week. We're now paying an average of $4.36 per gallon. That's 50 cents more than this time last month. Experts say that deadly refinery fire near Toledo is still having an impact on gas prices in the Midwest, and the decision by OPEC to cut oil production will also play a role in that. Well, it was once a symbol of hate, but today it was recognized as a symbol of moving forward.
Within the hour, the city dedicated an historic marker at the site of the Burwood Wall at Alfonso Wells Memorial Playground. That 6-foot-high wall was built by a white real estate developer back in 1941 to separate a new white housing development from an existing black neighborhood. It became an important marker of the history of housing segregation and discrimination in the city of Detroit, but that wall has been turned into artwork, and the installation now stands as a sign of progress.